Yeah, no, I'm here I work for Philips, and we have a goal by 2025 to positively impact 300 million lives. You've heard about some of the different programs that we're working on. You heard about CHARM earlier, and today I'd like to talk to you about our AED program. Hopefully the rest of them look better than that. All right, so first a little intro. Please raise your hand if you or a loved one have experienced a heart-related concern. It's a lot of us. Please raise your hand if you are CPR AED certified. All right, not quite as many. And then finally, please raise your hand if you know where the AEDs are in this building. I have pictures if you want to know. Yep. Awesome. Oh. All right. So first of all, it's worth clearing up really quickly what the difference between a heart attack and sudden cardiac arrest is. Those two terms often get conflated. A heart attack is a little bit like if your body was a house, a heart attack is like a plug in your plumbing, whereas a sudden cardiac arrest is more like an electrical issue. And that's where an AED may come into play to help restart your heart. All right, more interactivity, a 5-question quiz to see if you know how to save the victim of a sudden cardiac arrest or to learn how. All right, and true, false. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death worldwide. True? True, okay. False? All right, and let's find out. It is true. Over 7 million lives are claimed each year by sudden cardiac arrest worldwide. It's the leading cause of death among adults over 40 in the U.S., and it can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. All right, second one. Is it better to wait for the professionals to arrive? True? No. All right, false. I'm getting a lot of falses. Oops. You are correct. In fact, for every minute that passes without defibrillation, your chance of survival decreases by 7 to 10%. Wow, right? And after 10 minutes, very few sudden cardiac arrest victims will survive. So you really are very integral here. On average, an emergency medical team in the U.S. takes 6 to 12 minutes to show up, and brain damage can begin to occur after about 4 minutes. All right, question 3. CPR alone is enough to treat the victim of a sudden cardiac arrest. True? False? All right, a lot of unsureness on this one. False. So CPR can help extend a victim's life temporarily, but it alone cannot save the majority of sudden cardiac arrest victims. All right. Can you accidentally hurt someone with an AED? Bystander, yes, true. You can hurt someone? Yeah? False. You can't hurt anyone? No? All right, let's find out. False. You can only help. The AED actually detects whether or not there is a shockable rhythm and won't actually have an effect if it's not needed. And of course, without it, the victim has a low survival rate. Okay, final question. AEDs, hard to use? Not a lot of hands. Easy. Easy to use? All right, I'm liking it. That is true. They are very simple to use, and they actually will guide you through the entire process. And we're going to prove it. So we're going to have a quick AED demo, and we've got a lovely supporter here as well from earlier. So thank you very much. Yeah, I was actually going to ask for a volunteer just out of the cold blue, so you guys lucked out. So this is David Saltzman, and he's a Philips AED representative, and he's just going to show us how incredibly easy it is to use one. So I've dropped on the ground. It's been found, pulled open.
Adult training pack. Here we go.
placed in the upper left chest there.
When the first pad is in place,
Lower right.
no one should touch the patient. Analyzing. No one should touch the patient. Analyzing. Shock advised. Stay clear of patient. Press the flashing orange button now. Shock delivered. Be sure emergency medical services have been called. It is safe to touch the patient. Begin CPR. Or place the heel of one hand in the center of the chest between the nipples. Place your other hand on top of the first. Push the chest down firmly 2 inches. Keep time with the beat.
100 beats per minute. Staying alive, staying alive. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming out to do this. All right, so I think we've established a valuable item to have around and not too hard to use. So what is Philips actually doing to help spread awareness about sudden cardiac arrest? I mean, this presentation would be an example of that. But what else? So we do company-sponsored AED trainings. This is me learning. And then I'm the social media manager, so I post content on our social platforms, including the Philips Health handle, where we're posting World Heart Day content right now. September 29th is World Heart Day, so definitely something worth engaging with. We also love to share save stories. People have been saved by AEDs. Those are in the news every day. And we also reshare content put out by other Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation type of organizations. So American Heart Association and then Pulse Point, which I'm going to talk about some more. Really excited about that partnership. So we have a nonprofit partnership with Pulse Point. So it's all coming up. So I want to talk real briefly about the World Heart Day campaign we did last year. It happened to coincide with our 20th anniversary in the AED business and also our 1.5 millionth AED sold. So we did an educational infographic, a press release, a search campaign, and a social campaign. This is the infographic, so it's got some myths and facts, kind of similar to the experience that I had with you guys at the beginning of this presentation. A lot of cool graphics for social. We had a ton of great engagement results, so a reach of 1.3 million, 9.2 thousand engagements on social. If you want to talk about social strategy, I'm happy to nerd out about that. PR team got 20 press pieces published with 6.2 million impressions, and our search efforts surpassed our click-through rate benchmarks by 240%. All right, I promised Pulse Point. Here it is. So if you haven't heard of Pulse Point, amazing app. It's free. And it really happened because it can be really hard to find an AED when you need it because we don't actually know where they are. And there's actually no public requirements to register them when you buy one and put them in your business. So it's also really hard to find somebody who's trained, who's going to show up and ready to go. And minutes are really critical. So what this solution does is it actually alerts you if there's somebody nearby who needs help. And it works off of integration with 911 and GPS on your phone. Pretty cool. It's actually been, it's got more than 1 million users. There's already been 26,000 cardiac arrest activations. That's where it's actually sounded an alarm. And it averages 2 to 3 responders per activation. So what does this have to do with Philips? Well, there is an issue, and that is that 80% of cardiac incidences actually occur in the private residence, and the app isn't going to send any random person into a private home. So what they've created is the Verified Responder app, and this is a pilot study in partnership with Philips. It's been launched in 4 cities. We've got another one planned. We're currently at 550 AEDs donated to, people who are already trained as first responders, people who you can send into private places. So we're starting really with off-duty firefighters and setting them up with AEDs and with an app that isn't restricted in any way. So, since you think about, like, there's generally 3 shifts of 8 hours of people around the clock ready to help with a fire or other emergency. 2/3 of them are not working at any one time, but they are among us in the community. If they have the tools they need to help save a life, then that's going to be much more effective. You're going to really reduce the response time and start that chain of survival a lot earlier. So our message is clear. With access to the right equipment at the right time, anyone can help save a life. And Philips AED Solutions act as your personal coach to guide you through a cardiac emergency with a simple step-by-step process. All right, so how can you help? First of all, awareness is always great. So we put out content. Other organizations put out content on this topic. So if you are involved in social media, you can follow and share that content. You can make sure that AEDs are available at the places where you work and play, where your children go to school, where you participate in team sports. You can make sure to register AEDs on PulsePoint. And you can encourage training in your organizations on how to use these devices, how to administer CPR. You never know when your coworker might save your life. And then finally, you can partner with like-minded organizations to expand awareness, organizations like PulsePoint. Philips, of course, can help you connect with those organizations. And together, I hope that we can continue to create safe stories like this. These are all people that I've tweeted about on our Philips Healthcare handle, people who were saved by a Philips AED.